Hey, welcome to Generation X3, the show where a baby boomer confronts three millennials about the topics of the day, and they've come up with this story as a topic. Airplane food finally kills someone.
Finally.
Says lawsuit. A woman and her daughter are suing American Airlines, who went bankrupt. I guess I don't have to worry about collecting. And the flight catering company Sky Chefs for $1 million, claiming that their airplane food killed her husband. Wow. Food was infected by some
common
bacteria.
food bacteria.
Yeah. So you guys fly enough that you have airplane food. I've noticed that it changes over the decades. It's almost like a cycle. Every once in a while, some airplane puts good food out. Mm-hmm. And then some bean counter comes in and says, this food is costing too much money. Give them more garbage.
I always have really great food when I sit in the nicer seats, and then when I'm sitting in coach, it's like the crappiest crap.
What nicest? You mean business or first?
Yeah. Internationally I've never flown first, but like any nicer seat where they serve you food and you have a menu to pick off of, it's
I'll tell you, since
better.
you haven't flown first internationally, I can tell you there's something that they have that you might get a kick out of. Big piles of caviar and champagne.
Sounds pretty nice.
Not only that, but first drawer champagne. They have Dom Perignon, for example, on the flights, Singapore Airlines first.
I've only flown
Just so you know, I mean, not that I would want to brag about it.
How much is that ticket from here to London?
I don't know. I never pay for tickets.
$5,000?
Yeah, probably more.
Probably
now.
more.
$8,000?
I don't know. You have to look it up. It changes. You can always get a deal. You can use miles.
So I've only flown first class twice in my life. The first time that I did, it was from here to Atlanta. Yeah. And I was excited. I'm like, okay, now you see what this is all about. The lunch comes out, and it's a burger that looks like I would have rather have had this Big Mac from McDonald's. It was the worst piece of crap I've ever had in my life. I didn't even want to eat it. I was like, can you please take this back? This is horrible.
Flying to Atlanta.
It's still, I mean, you think they could up it a little bit.
What are we trying
for
to say,
$2,000?
What's wrong with Atlanta?
Yeah, let's hear
You could
that.
invest more than 75 cents in the meal, don't you?
I actually flew from Dallas, first class on American Airlines from Dallas to Oakland or Dallas to San Francisco, and they served us nothing. There was no food. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Anyway, so.
One time I took an Ambien, and then my food got...
You took an Ambien?
On the plane.
Do you do that normally?
She does.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I take night flights to Europe.
Red eyes.
Have you ever missed your
I
stop?
want to fly. I want to sleep the whole time, so when I get there, I wake up and I'm ready to go all day, right? So I take an Ambien. They served me food last time I was on the plane, and I don't remember, but apparently I was like eating this awful food.
Like
and my sister was like telling me this whole story, and I'm like, Jessie, I'm hallucinating. And I'm like eating this crap, and she's like, why are you eating that? I'm like, I don't know, it's so gross. But anyway.
Well, the Ambien will make people sleepwalk and hallucinate and do all kinds of weird things if you can snap. You know, did you ever take it and worry about maybe walking down the aisle and, you know, like a zombie? I mean, or anything like that?
Oh,
Can happen?
no, I don't. I've never done that. I pretty much just fall asleep. But I've heard some pretty bad stories about people forgetting that they just throw tantrums on the plane and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so you have some experience in flying. You've come over from the
far
from the Slovenian, the Adriatic area.
Yes.
He uses the prop plane still. Yeah, land on the lake.
He's giving you the stink eye for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, there was times where the food was good, okay, not good, and mostly it's just shitty though.
What airline do you fly?
Lufthansa.
Oh, have you ever used the Concorde? Is that
They don't have the Concorde anymore.
No, the Lufthansa doesn't. They never flew it, and it doesn't fly anymore anyway.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said have you. Not.
How old do you think I am?
It ended in 2000. It's not that long ago.
It's 10 years ago.
Have you ever flown the Concorde?
No, I missed it.
Did you want to?
Yeah, sure. Everyone who flies, the key to everyone, the main thing about flying is, besides it's pretty quick, is the place is crawling with celebrities. It's kind of apparently quite amusing.
That's kind of cool. So I have another story about my second time I flew first class. So we're flying back, and I'm with my buddy, and he filmed this whole thing on the iPad, so I have proof. The flight attendant would not stop flirting with me. She was probably 21, 22. She's not attractive, but she would not stop flirting with me. She offered to bring me Jägerbombs.
What?
And I'm like, wait, you guys have Jägerbombs on the flight?
So you were like, yeah.
She never brought it to me, but I don't think they actually have Jägerbombs, but I think these flight attendants are smuggling their own booze in And she was willing
They
to.
may have those little bottles. It's
Yeah.
possible.
All it is like Red Bull and Jaeger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
How
gonna make
hard
them
is
for
to
me.
make
You'd
Yeah.
have the Jaeger
Yeah.
in the little containers with all
Yeah.
these little bottles. I'm sure that's in there.
Yeah.
And she would maybe have her own bottle. You can bring in some Red Bull.
Yeah.
Some planes might have it.
I didn't want to drink, but I wish I would have taken her up on that
Why?
order. It would be fun, man.
Just to been like,
Jägerbombs
I did
on the plane.
Jägerbombs on a plane.
If she was hot, I would have done it. Because then it would have
What?
probably led to something cool. But she
Have you
wasn't
ever
hot.
had sex on the airplane?
No. Have you seen those bathrooms? They're like the size of this piece of paper.
I know somebody who has.
Yeah? Okay, tell us about that.
Well,
Your mom?
Have you? Have you?
You've had sex on an airplane? Where was this plane going to?
See if we can get her face
Where
to
was
turn
this plane going
Look
to?
at
How
it.
old were you? Was this recent?
I'm not
Was this to
saying.
New York last week?
no. I was
No, I think that was about to be someone else, though.
Huh. So how did that work out? Did you go to the bathroom together, or was it under the blanket? How was this done?
Ew, no. Bathroom, not blanket.
That's highly illegal.
Bathroom,
you know?
not blanket. No, it's not.
Don't you-
What's illegal about
Having
it?
sex on an airplane is.
Yeah.
Why is that illegal?
They
I mean,
don't-
have you
they
seen the
don't-
size of that? This is what I
Yeah.
don't get. This is so small. I can barely take a poop
So
in
did
there.
were you at the 30,000 foot level? Were you fully, so you could be the Mile High Club? Is that the deal?
That's why.
Did you
yeah.
That's why you did it?
Yeah, of course. Not to like.
Oh my
God.
Right,
Contain
because it's
myself.
cool.
Got one on
Because
both
it's
of you.
cool.
Because it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
That's our thing. Now you're like irked
I know, I'm irked.
because you.
Dorian one up me.
Yeah, well, as it were. All right, well, that's interesting.
Really?
Anyway, you've been watching Generation X3.